I bought another collection. This one is actually mostly toys. All right, guys, we're going to get into this. I am so excited about this video. I've been sitting on it for a long time. I finally went back, took the pictures I needed to take, made the list of everything I needed to make the list of, and now we're finally going to go through it. But before we do, you know what to do. Hit that subscription button if you haven't already, the thumbs up button because it's free. Why not? Helps me out. And leave a comment down below. I'm actually going to need your help in this video. I'll explain later. It has a lot to do with toys. So if we have any toy collectors out there, I'm going to want to hear from you. With all that, also, you know what to do. Give me a follow on all that social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot. And of course, I don't know, there's probably more. Anyway, let's get right into it. So this is actually a combination of comic books and toys. Ooh, one more thing. I'm sorry, one more thing. November 19th, mark your calendars, guys, if you're in the tri-state area. November 19th, my final convention. I will be appearing one more time to sell stuff in December, but we're going to talk about November 19th. It is Iacon. It is at the Fishkill Rec Center in Fishkill, New York. It is a one-day show. Think King Con with just vendors. There are artists there as well. Single, one-day, small show. Absolutely worth the trip. There are some AAA vendors there. It's going to be a hell of a show. If you can make it, please do check out iacon.com. You can get tickets now or get them at the door. All right, with that, now, boom, let's get into this. This collection, it's funny because this collection actually came back to me. And what do I mean? What I mean is I bought the 99% of the books from this person, oh God, year or two ago. 60 long boxes from a storage unit. I think I did a recording for it. I don't remember. It's probably video. You got to go way back on my collections video to find it. It was like 60 long boxes. It took me a few trips. It was down in Yonkers, New York. Anyway, we've stayed in touch. And as the seller has continued to go through her father's things, she's found more and more and like, hey, do you want this? You interested in that? And so on and so forth. And she hit me up and she's like, hey, I found a bunch of this stuff in his closet. Is this anything you're interested in? I'm like, yeah, bring the toys. Because she said, I have toys and books. I'm like, bring the toys, no promises. I don't really dabble too much in toys, and bring all the comic books. So she came up. The comic books weren't that great. We're going to go through a very few amount of keys, but the toys were phenomenal. So quickly, I'm just going to show you a quick, I think it's less than 60 seconds of me filming while I'm going through the toys in the boxes she brought. And then we're going to break everything down. And again, I'm going to need you guys, you toy collectors, I'm going to need your help because I have ideas what I want to do. I want to hear from you guys. First, let's take a look quickly at these boxes of toys.
1, 2, 3 boxes. And then, oh, action figures. Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah, these will be fun to go through. This one's not in great shape. That's okay. Yeah, we'll go through all these. All right, and in box number 2, we have some Secret Wars figures. We also had Superpowers, Brainiac, Calabac, Flash, Martian Manhunter. Ooh. The bubble is open on this, but that's a good one. Oh, we do have Joker, though. Crushed. Over. Oh, these are in rough shape.
All right, so you saw a very quick glimpse of some really cool stuff and some very damaged toys. Now, with that, let's start out with the comic books. I didn't do any recording with the comic books because they were in like boxes and I can't record when I'm, if they're in long boxes, short boxes, and they're vertical like they should be, I can flip through and I usually record. You guys have seen that a million times. Unfortunately for this one, I couldn't have, but don't worry, you didn't miss anything. I pulled out 6 books to talk about. They're all let's just get into it. We're going to go over the toys as well. First up is She-Hulk 15. This is the first gray She-Hulk. Is it a big key? No. Is it a minor key? Maybe. Is it less than a minor key? Possibly. Worth noting, but that's the level we have here. Man of Steel 18, First Doomsday. We have talked about this book so many times. Yes, it's gone through 5 printings. The 4th and the 5th printing are the most expensive, especially the 5th, blah, blah, blah. You guys have probably heard me talk about it. Next up, the second best book in the lot. This is X-Men Annual 14, first cameo of Gambit, or is it the first appearance of Gambit? Listen, whatever you want to believe, I don't care. It's not my opinion. All I know, or I should say it's not my problem. I don't mind what you guys think. All I do know is that X-Men Annual 14, which is the first cameo or first appearance of Gambit, is significantly less valuable than X-Men 266. So take it with that information. Captain Marvel #1. This is just an origin book. Might see a little bit of a bump with the movie coming out next year. I think it's like a $20 book. And it's $15 to $25 probably, depending on condition. Thor 412, interesting. This is the first New Warriors. This is an interesting one. This caught me off guard because it is like, I think still like a $15, $20 book. And yes, that's the price point we're talking here, $15, $20 with some of this stuff. And last but not least, this is the best book out of the collection. That's it. We're only talking about a few. We're going to get into the toys. This is The Killing Joke, first print. So this is a nice book. Pretty good condition, not a 9.8, not going to CGC. Actually, as I'm recording this, I'm starting to think it's already sold. It's gone. It's sold at New York Comic Con. So we're going to get into the toys. Before we do, I want to tell everyone ahead of time, I don't know what I paid for this collection. I completely forgot. Usually, I've been doing a really good job about what collection is what, and then writing it down and writing the price. I have my notes somewhere because I just looked through them. And for some reason, I didn't even write this one down. I know it was a little pricey. I remember it being I get all the collections mixed up in my head when I start buying stuff in clumps. Like, I think that same weekend I had like 2 or 3 collections, and some videos you've probably already seen, and some I still have to do. So let's get into the toys. And I want the toy collectors, if you're watching, I am going to need help, because what I want to do, I'll tell you at the end. Anyway, well, let's start with what I think is the cheapest of the batch of stuff. I mean, there's all that. This is the stuff I'm keeping. Let's make it, let me just come out straightforward. I'm keeping everything we're going to talk about from here on out. Okay? Everything is staying in my personal collection. Everything you saw in that video that you don't see that we're about to talk about is already gone. I gave it all away to a friend of mine. So please don't ask for any of the stuff that you've seen in the video, because they're all given away, or these which I'm keeping. So let's start. We're going to start with the DC superheroes. This was like almost like a second edition of those superpower things. I would definitely had a bunch of these, and I'm sure if you're watching and you're about my age, you had these as well. This first one is just Robin, Two-Face, and Penguin. You could see a little bit of damage. You could also see some are unpunched, which is really cool. For you comic book guys who don't know much about toys, when I say punched and unpunched, I mean the little peg hole at the top of the back of the cardboard where they used to hang the toys up, like on the shelves. Like if you go to Target, they're hanging by those. Unpunched is more desirable because it's essentially, super complete, right? Unfortunately, for most of the stuff we're about to talk about, most of these are just damaged bubbles, damaged backboards, bubbles that have come unstuck, but we'll get into that. Next batch of these is Hawkman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and Superman. I think I had almost all of these when I was little. Last but not least, in this kind of era, in this genre here, is from the Batman movie. We had 2 Batmans and a Joker. Probably keeping, again, everything you're about to see. And stick around because, again, I'm going to need your help. Let's get into DC superpowers. Now, I have heard from different collectors that the DC superpower fan base is very limited with the knowledge they'll give you. Let me reword that. They're not very helpful. All right. I don't know that for a fact. I have no idea. So if that's you and you feel insulted, I apologize. I didn't mean it, because this is just what I've heard from different toy collectors, that the superpower collectors are trying to get something for nothing. And they try to take advantage of everybody who's not knowledgeable. So again, these are staying in my personal collection. Do not ask for them. Do not ask for a price. First up, Calabac and Darkseid. Some damaged stuff, some bubbles that have popped, but complete nonetheless. Moving on. All right, I've never seen these before. These are like mini half boards. This is Batman, Robin, and Superman. Never seen these like this before. I don't know if that means they're a premium or they're not as valuable as the originals. No clue. I also don't care. I'm keeping them. Doesn't matter. But I could use your help. If anybody out there knows, please tell me. All right, we're going to go one at a time here. We're going to go quick because there's a lot here to cover. First up, Dr. Fate. We just saw him in Black Adam. If you saw the movie or not, I'm sure you saw the trailer, and we saw him looking really good. Next up, Lex Luthor. The DC guys did a really good job at ruining this character on the big screen. Let's hope, fingers crossed, James Gunn blows everything up and can bring back a Lex Luthor we are all proud of. Right? Come on. Wonder Woman, she is in there, and her golden lasso is as well, which is really, really cool. Next up is The Flash. I definitely had The Flash, as well as Wonder Woman and Lex when I was little. 100%, no doubt about it. Next one I don't believe I did have, and this is the Red Tornado. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. All these are amazing. All right, I shouldn't say one more. We have a lot to go through. The next one is one of the more expensive ones after doing some research, and this is Shazam. I definitely did not have Shazam when I was little, but you could see it's. I believe this one is a little bit of a yellow bubble, but the bubble is pretty close to attached, so I'm going to need some advice with this one as well. Moving on, we have Firestorm. I definitely had Firestorm as a kid, as well as the next one, which is Joker. 100% had the Joker. Next one, didn't even know it existed. This is Parademon. Really cool. Definitely didn't. I had no idea. No idea this was even a toy back in the day when I was little. The next one I did have, and that was Hawkman, looking awesome. These things are so pristine because although the bubbles are popped and loose, the characters have not been touched. Like, they're just still in the package, still in the bubble. It's just open. Next one I definitely had when I was little, but I didn't realize that this one also is a premium character from what I could tell with a little bit of research I did, and this was Green Arrow. Definitely had him when I was younger. I did not have the next one. I don't know if you guys even care, but some of you guys are like, I had that. I didn't have that one. I definitely had this one. This next one, Martian Manhunter. I love all these things. All right, last two. The next one I definitely had, and that is Brainiac, looking shiny and fine, amazing condition, phenomenal. And last but not least, another character I didn't even know existed in the toy line for DC. This is Mantis. No idea. When I was taking the picture, though, the bubble, like I said, the bubbles are popped on a lot of these. He actually fell out, and I was like, ooh, had to put him back in real quick and take the picture. Like, hey, what are you going to do? All right, 4 more to talk about. We're done with DC, so all you Marvel fans, if you stuck around, awesome. And again, I do need your help here, because what I want to do before we get into Marvel, I'll just tell you now, is I want to get all these graded and just kind of display them. Now, the backs are so messed up. I don't want the DC comic superheroes. I just want those carded, and I'll just put them in a box somewhere. I do like them. Maybe I'll open one of the Batman ones from the movie because there's 2. But the superpowers, I want to get these open, and I want to get them graded, because from what I remember, if you get one of these action figures graded or opened, they will actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, they'll actually display all the weapons and accessories in the encapsulated cube as well, box. I'm going to be reading these comments, guys. Please let me know, because I want to display these guys. I think they'll be really cool, stacked on one another, opened, and I am not one for opening my toys, but when the bubbles are already damaged, they're yellow, they're cracked, they're smushed, the boards are just completely, some are just really mangled. I think the best option is to open them and either display them or get them graded if you're into that. I need your advice. Now, these last 4, I'm going to want your advice as well. These are all from the Secret Wars line. These are all Marvel. First up, Dr. Octopus. All the bubbles are completely detached on all these except the last 2. So Dr. Octopus is detached. I don't remember if I had him when I was younger. The same thing with the next guy. This is Dr. Doom. Now, did they go to the same school? I have no idea, but they both are doctors. I don't believe I had this one. Actually, I don't know if I had any of these. I definitely had some Secret Wars, but I don't know if I had any of these guys. Oh, I did have one particular one. Next up, this is Wolverine. Kind of really want to get this guy graded and show him off because he's really cool. And last but not least, I was told that this is another premium character out of the Secret Wars line. I did not have this one, but I did have the blue and red Spider-Man. This is the black suit Spidey. This one is actually in the best condition on the bubble. It is not completely detached. It's just loose. So I don't know what to do. Please, toy collectors or comic guys who also do toys, let me know what you think. Are any of these worth leaving encapsulated, or leaving just sealed. If the bubbles are loose and they like do this, or they're crunched, or the board is folded over, I think these things would look so cool, all opened and stacked and displayed together. I don't know. I know it costs a lot of money. That's it for this collection, guys. I really need your help. I need your help with this one. I want to say thank you so much for watching, all you guys. A lot of stuff coming up in the near future. Again, we have on November 19th, Icon in Fishkill, New York. December 3rd at the Poughkeepsie Galleria, I'll also be set up. That's for Incredicon. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're new to the channel because this is a toy thing, hit that subscription button. We get toys once in a while, but we mostly talk comics. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, keep it comics. And maybe toys too.